we need to talk about AI in Hong Kong. I just got back from studying in Canada, where AI was like a second brain to me. It helped me write, code, organize, and even think. But the moment I landed back in Hong Kong, that brain was gone. Tools I used every day, blocked, restricted, downright frustrating to use, even with a VPN. And it's not just inconvenient, it's like losing a piece of how I work, learn, and create. At first I thought it was just me, but then I started digging, and I realized that the problem runs way deeper. No one talks about this, but in Hong Kong, AI is quietly disappearing, and whether you're a student, a creator, or just someone trying to keep up, this changes everything. So today, we need to talk about what's really going on, why we're stuck, and which tools are actually worth your time. Tools I've tested, compared, and which I'd personally recommend before we get left behind. So why is AI blocked in Hong Kong? The main reason? Geopolitics. The US government sees advanced AI as a national security issue. Since 2024, companies like OpenAI and Google have been tightening access to places they think are risky, and Hong Kong got caught in the middle. Even though we're a special administrative region, legal gray areas and national security laws make US tech companies nervous. So they block access. Not out of malice, it's about avoiding lawsuits and staying compliant. So yeah, OpenAI isn't banned in Hong Kong. It's restricted, because it's easier for them to avoid the region entirely than to tiptoe through international law. The thing is, this hits harder than you'd expect. Hong Kong's AI research is world-class. Our universities dominate global collaboration rankings. But when it comes to actual implementation, we're not even in the top 30. That's the paradox. We're leading in ideas, but falling behind in action. As a student and a creator, I relied on AI for everything. Summarizing research, explaining hard concepts, even planning videos like these. Without easy access, you feel behind. And it's not just me. Startups are seeing delays, creators losing tools, and professionals are paying for VPNs just to keep up. It adds friction to everything. While it's hard to find exact numbers, you can feel the cost in daily life. Slower workflows, missed opportunities, time lost to tech hurdles. It's more than an inconvenience. It's a drag on innovation and competitiveness. So most of us turn to VPNs. And yes, they work. Until they don't. AI companies are getting smarter. OpenAI has been reported to detect IP addresses from known VPN providers. Some tools need non-Hong Kong phone numbers just to sign up. And latency? It's brutal for real-time apps. 38% of professionals in Hong Kong use VPNs, but it's not a sustainable solution. It's like putting duct tape on a leaky pipe. Now for the good news. Some AI tools still work in Hong Kong, and I've tested them myself, so here's what I'd recommend based on your needs. Let's start with two free options, Microsoft Copilot and DeepSeek. Both work without VPNs. Microsoft Copilot is easiest to access. Use it in Edge or online for drafting and rephrasing emails or generating slides. DeepSeek, developed by a Chinese team, is strong for coding and data analysis. Use Copilot for quick office work and DeepSeek for technical projects. They're solid starters. But here's the thing, while they're great for quick tasks, they're not as flexible as other tools. You can't switch between different models, and there's no way to create a custom chat that remembers your preferences or goals over time. Next, we have Poe.com by Quora. For about $50 US a year, it gives you access to ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and more, all in one place. It's convenient for sampling different methods, but it lacks persistent memory, which makes it harder to use for long-term projects. Now, what is this persistent memory thing that I keep talking about? In tools like ChatGPT or Perplexity, you can create what's called a project or a space. Basically, a long-running chat that remembers its role and purpose. I use one just for planning for my YouTube channel, so that every time I come back, it already knows what I'm trying to build. Copilot, DeepSeek, and Poe don't have that, which make them clunky for long-term projects. This brings us to Perplexity AI. It's more expensive, around $200 a year, but for power users, it's well worth it. You can create persistent spaces with context, ask follow-ups, and even choose between different models on the fly. I use it for deep research, outlining, and organizing long-term projects. And if you're more technical, there's a whole other level. Open source models like Llama 2 or Mistral 7b. You can run them locally or host them in the cloud. It takes effort, but you get full control over how they work. If you're building a startup or working with private data, this is your sandbox. Bonus mention for coders. If you're already using Windsurf or Cursor to write code, just use the chat window. It gives you access to powerful AI models right inside your coding environment. So here's how I'm thinking about it now. We don't have perfect access, but we have options. Figuring out how to make them work, that's become a skill in itself. The tool matters a lot, but so does the skill of writing good prompts, knowing which model suits the task, and knowing when to pivot when something breaks. That's become part of the workflow now. Not a workaround, but a real skill set. It's not ideal, but growing up with a rare medical condition taught me this. The straight path isn't always open, but that doesn't mean you stop. You just learn to take the side trails. And honestly, what I think might help us most right now is a bit more curiosity, resilience, and homegrown creativity. We're not working with the best setup, but we're still building things that matter. That's the strange gift of limits. They force us to invent. If you found something that works, share it below. Thanks for watching.